Hey Science 1P51 students, Ian Gordon here, Science Librarian. To demonstrate tools and resources that are on the Brock Library page, the Science Guide, and to jump into Web of Science and show you how I would use it, and you may want to use it as well. So here's the Brock Library homepage. A number of things that you can use. Ask Chat is here, that quick and dirty way of asking someone a question, most days, evenings, and even on weekends. Citation guides, workshops further down. Well, let's jump right into the research guides. They're listed here by faculty and by department, and science is where you want to be. And there you go. So what's in the guide, the homepage, the tabs are clickable here. Email me here. Book a consultation. This is how it works. So it brings up a guide and a calendar, and it finds times. If you click on it, it'll ask you, why do you want to meet? Just ask you to validate and verify who you are. Sends you an email, sends me an email, and we schedule that. And then when it comes with the 24 hours notices, we meet. And I usually email you to discern what social media or video chat service that works best for you, whether it's Teams or Zooms or Life-Size or whatever. So let's not go there. So that's there for you as well. Email is here, but my email is here. And again, if you want to email me, put Science 1P51 in the subject of the email message. I read my email all day and all night and all weekend, so jump at me for that as well. Tools that you can use, the two videos, the one you're watching here is here, and the other video and PowerPoint slides are here that you can look at and review one at a time if you'd like. Other tools that are interesting, where to get help. Streaming videos, not important to this assignment, but we have lots of streaming videos that you can watch for entertainment or for learning or teaching. Or just for interest as well. Lots of books and ebooks that are maybe in our library and databases that you could use and services that will help you find these sorts of things. Peer review, you've got to find scholarly peer review journal articles. There's my list of 9 gotta-haves or should-have items for scholarly journals, and videos and guides that can help you with that as well. Writing and citing tab is here. Not only the guide, Zotero, what I use as a citation management system, is here. Other tools that you could use, the style guides that may be helpful for you. Then at the bottom, really important, resources that can help you when writing a summary of a research article. They're listed here and they're all clickable. Check them out. Maybe one may be important to you. You may not look at them, but I found them all to be kind of useful in learning things of how to summarize a scholarly peer-reviewed journal article if you've never done it before. Let's jump into articles. There's a number of databases and strategies and words and phrases you can use. Things that are in SCIE, how to use Omni, and then I list the databases in an order that I think are relevant for this assignment, though there may be other ones Dr. Stars or your TAs may suggest as well. Try them all. Different interfaces, different coverages, different ways of gathering data, but they all list citations to articles which you can find through clickable links, or you can go to Omni and put in the title of the article and find it through that service to find the full text. You should have at least 90 to 95% of the articles that you trip across. Omni Academic Search Complete, Semantic Scholar, Microsoft Academic, Google Scholar, other free tools, and lists that you could use at the bottom of this page. Well, let's jump right into Web of Science Core Collection. It comes up and asks you to authenticate who you are, your letters, numbers, letters, and your passwords, like you're getting into any Brock content, and allows you to look that up as well. Here it is, the database, and if you look at Web of Science, it's kind of neat. You can search all databases, meaning it searches Medline or medicine as well as Web of Science, but we're searching Web of Science Core Collection as a database by itself. So here's your list of keywords. We use the concepts of food additives in children and adverse effects, and I developed my list of what should or shouldn't be used. So I'm going to put the words in phrases, quotation marks, food additive. And if you put Shift 8 at asterisk, it picks up words with that root, like additives or hyphenated words. If you close the quotations, it looks in topics, which are abstracts, titles, author, and manufactured keywords, and subject areas. It looks up it as a topic, and I found 9,135 articles. Every database allows you to sign in, so you can keep your strategies and your histories. So that's always a benefit. Even Omni allows you to do that. Allows you to create lists in different ways. And then on the left-hand side, allows you to filter your results. One of them is by English as language, but yet all these are English language. That's Web of Science does that for you as well. Types of articles and formats, different authors, different ways of looking at it. But you can always click on search and go back. This database, since it's important, allows you to search by date. So let's limit our results. Usually you limit them by most recent to least recent, but we know we want 2020 to the present. So it's added that filter for wherever searches we do in the future. So let's search our phrase, food additive or additives. And we got 833. You discern what's too many, too few, and then how to modify it. My sense is when you use a series of keywords or strategies, when you keep seeing the same results, you know you've kind of beat this to death, and you take your mark list and move forward. 833, it's kind of begging us to click on search and modify our search again, and I'll put in other concepts. I know previously I put in food additives, and you can see it, remember as I did this before for the search, and I put in those words separated by the words or. So you and concepts together, you or synonyms or other words. Food additives or sweeteners, any word with that root, or preservatives. I found the word dyes and stabilizers important topics as word. So let's search these dates using these words and phrases and roots of words and find out in the topic how many of these articles. Sometimes you have to reassert the date strategies and the terms, but that's a lot. But yet, we've put those to one side. But our second concept, remember, it was children. You can put in child or children, kids or boys or girls. I found the word child, Shift 8, asterisk picks up children, children's. And that's the standardized words I found in literature to describe that population. So I'll find out how many of these articles also have the word child or children or children's anywhere in the article. 1,445. So what you can do is you can always go search and you can play with these as well. So we've kind of limited our results by date ranges. Let's look for words in abstracts and titles of articles. We're kind of looking for a combination of one of these words and children in the title of an article. And so you can just play and push and pull. 81 articles. Neat thing about these is always on the left-hand side, you just pick an article. What it does is it takes out editorials, reviews, book reviews, those things that aren't relevant, noting that all these articles should be scholarly peer-reviewed articles. There's other terms or phrases that you can use. But let's click on Refine here and find 61 of these are articles. And you can sort them by date, newest to oldest. Time cited, meaning how many times they've been cited by other papers. But since they're so new, they don't happen too often. Usage count, meaning how many times these have been touched by you and other people. And by relevance, meaning it puts those words together in an algorithm, finds out which should be the best. So you discern by the title where the journal is. See, it doesn't give you a page count for everything, but sometimes it does. Usually by the title, you can tell whether it's relevant or not. That looks interesting. So you click it, and you just browse, and you can resort them again. But every time you find one, and you go through a page, add to mark list, and you can see that one is added to the topic here. So it keeps it to one place until I actually exit the database as well. I'm thinking that there's things that are here that may be well, but it's like asking for that third concept. You may have 2 concepts or 3 concepts. Let's look for the word child or children anywhere in the article descriptors. We want to put that third concept in, which is where expo typing discount, exposure or exposing, or trace or metal. These are words that I figured out that actually work quite well. Or metal or adverse. There's a big word. I can't think of any other words. You may actually put a specific food additive in there, like stevia or aspartame or type of sweetener. And you can actually put that in my name. So let's find out how many of those articles have this third concept or any one of those combinations as well. 47. Too many? Too few? I don't know. Let's browse them by usage count, knowing they're all within 2020, and go through them, and we can tell by the relevant. Again, you find where they are. Psychiatry. No, we don't want that. You don't want sociological studies, meaning medical surveys of how people think about something. You don't want interpretations, and you certainly don't want to review articles. Sometimes you have to go back and re-tag the document types. You can browse through them, but we're looking for things that looked at the relevant, readable, understandable, not too complex, and noting that probably all these are in full text format. Ooh, that looks interesting. So browsing or serendipity is certainly a good methodology. There's one screen. Let's go through another one. Sometimes you find an article, you go, science, molecular. You can click on the actual title of the article, and it gives you the title, the journal, an abstract you can read. Can I understand this? The keywords that are used, and other information that's really valuable about it. It's been cited 3 times since it was published, which is quite a lot. There's 50 citations in it. And then you can add these to the mark list as well. So it adds number 4 to it. You can always go back to your search results and browse through as well. The last thing I would do is when you click on search is you can mix these things, meaning I want adverse in the title. I want these words in the abstract. So you can flip the combinations, meaning these words will be in the title of the article, and it may give you a different perspective of these 36. Soils, risk. I'm just reading the titles. Overweight. Again, you have to discern whether it meets the criteria for, and that's the interesting part of it, but this is where browsing and serendipity is a good research methodology. Especially if you click on here and you go, oh, that's interesting. Well, that's interesting as well. Or, oh, I want to read this one as well. Oh, let's add this to the mark list as well. Let's go back to search results. And so eventually you see the same sorts of results, your search strategy. You can add another term like the word Canadian. Sometimes people do that just because they're interested. So the word capitalization doesn't matter. Canada, Canadian, Canada's, any word. So how many of these 36 that have the word Canada in it? Well, 3 of them did. Well, this looks interesting. Let's grab that one. Oh, that looks interesting. Oh, let's add those to the mark list as well. So eventually, what have we been here, 10 minutes? So I found 9. You can look at them individually. And what usually happens is you look at these, you can delete some of them, you can add further, but really what you want to do is you want to export these. So you want the title of the author, everything for the citation, that's where as well. Sometimes you add the categories. I always include the abstract. Then you can export it, and it says all these records. EndNote, usually you click on email, put an address in, and it sends you the citation, the link to the actual full text article, the abstract, so you can then further look at it next time you want to look at these records. Or you can export them to a citation management system, which is really powerful, and you'll learn about those later. Every time you look at an article, whether you get the list by email, you can always look it up by PDF, or look at full text, or usually find it at Brockleys. This is how we link to a full text of an article. Pulls it up. You have to move through a couple of lines, clickable here. Usually it brings it up here, and again, 95% of the time, here's the article. How long is it? How many pages? Usually you have to download the PDF, so I'll download this article. And here it is here. You read it. Is it peer-reviewed? Looks like it. Has all the elements. A DOI, an introduction, a methodology. Can I understand it? Does it look good? How many pages is it? 5. Results. Again, you need to summarize this. Conclusions. It's not too long. It looks like it's 8 pages. Has citations. So, hey, download this. Grab the citation. And it looks like you're done. So that's the end of this process. Just to review, pick on the science guide. Look at all these tools. Don't forget how to summarize article resources out of here. Use Web of Science. Think of the tips and tricks that I showed you. You should be well on your way. So good luck with this particular assignment.